Everybody, Nava Hopkins with Optmyzr here, and I want to actually just spend a little bit of time going over what's available in Rule Engine. We're not going to set up any rules today. We're not going to go into the ins and outs of any particular Rule Engine strategy. We're instead going to just talk through what it is, where to find it, and why it is so incredibly useful. The reason I want to spend a little bit of time talking about Rule Engine, lately there have been a lot of questions about how much to lean into ad network automation. And one of the ways that you can protect yourself is using rules to safeguard against accidental or well-intentioned spikes in spend, as well as potentially targeting areas that you weren't supposed to target, all of those various things. Now, an important note, we are currently in a Google Ads account within Optmyzr. Rule Engine does have rules for all the channels we support. That's Google, Microsoft, Meta Ads, Amazon, and with Optmyzr Social coming, there soon will be also for LinkedIn as well. But I did want to make sure that we spend a little bit of time just going through what you can do with Rule Engine. So first and foremost, we are currently in the Create a Rule from Scratch interface. I'll show you what the interface looks like for the pre-built strategies, which is where most of you are going to spend most of your time in a bit, but just want to give you a taste of all of the opportunities at your disposal. Now you'll notice that campaign, ad group, keyword, product group, listing group, these are all kind of those bucket-esque rule categories that would let you adjust your bids, let you maybe pause things, let you go more aggressive on certain ones. What's interesting about what rules you can create is that it gets down to the nitty-gritty even on, say, city and zip code. You can have different ad group placement, targeting or exclusions. You can adjust for your ad creative, looking at your portfolio bidding strategy to have those safeguards in place, checking for your change history, and even uploading in your existing customer data. Now, why do we want to do this? Well, number one, when it comes to your campaign performance, sometimes there are hidden signals that we wouldn't otherwise know to factor. So for example, I'm going to actually hop over to the dashboard where we see our top competitors widget. And this widget has all the competitors where there's overlapping bids on keywords, where we might be targeting the same people. And if I'm targeting the same traffic as someone else, they in theory should be a direct competitor, or I'm wasting my time and money. Now, when I say direct competitor, that means that we are vying for the same business. If I saw maybe some folks in my top competitors that I don't necessarily agree with, that's a great signal to go over to my rule engine and make some adjustments on either a portfolio bid strategy to adjust, make sure that I'm not bidding too aggressively on the wrong people. Also to take a look at my search terms, make sure that I'm not accidentally ending up in front of the wrong people, that my placements are correct. And again, all of these are if this then that logics that we can then create. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back to an existing pre-built strategy so that I can show you what it looks like to edit. But again, the sky's the limit when it comes to our bidding strategies, our rule engine strategies. So if I wanted to add non-converting search queries as negatives to a search campaign, and I would click View and Edit the strategy, and I'd click Create. Now what's interesting about this is that I will be given the choice about whether I want to take action or whether I just want it to be an alert. And this is incredibly important because sometimes we don't trust our conversion tracking, and so we don't want to add valuable terms as negatives. So this is where we would then adjust our action. Under Edit, and that's where we would include in Report. You also could, if you wanted to, adjust that structure of what you do, but I just want to make sure that at the onset we know that we can always include in Report, and it will always be that action of the then. So if you see an action in a pre-built report and you don't want to take that action right away, just go ahead and click that green button to be moved over into a report. Now, as we're looking through the various rules, if we see that there are 0 conversions in the last 90 days, so that's a pretty robust amount of time, the query match type is on all variants, so we're checking for all variants. And then we would look at our cost, and if the cost is a certain percentage higher than what we were expecting, it would then get to be, so let's click our edit. For our cost, if it's 2.5 times higher than that average cost for conversion. You'll notice that this is an expression. I can adjust this to be a constant metric, a single metric, a custom variable, but the pre-builts are going to be very good for giving you base expressions. So if you're not used to working with expressions, this is a really useful way to just take a pre-built and modify rather than building from scratch. The next thing we want to take a look at is what is the bidding strategy itself? And is the bidding strategy serving us? Are we aligned with what we're trying to do? Our bidding strategy type is equal to CPC, CPA, ROAS, conversion value. So in Optmyzr, when you see CPC, that means manual bidding. Candidly, no one should be using manual bidding unless you have some really robust, powerful rules on the back end, i.e. you've probably added a whole bunch of rules through Optmyzr, or you have your own API configurations. Definitely want to make sure that you're using some degree of smart bidding paired with bid caps. And again, those are things that you can add within Optmyzr or within the ad platform itself. And then finally, we're checking that the channel is equal to search. Now you'll note that this is taking a second in between each adjustment we're making. That's because this strategy is being edited live and being ready to be applied to whatever campaigns we've said for it to look at. Now you'll note that we have exclude recent changes applied from Rule Engine in the last 30 days. And this is looking at 90. So that means this rule is still going to function off of that 90-day period worth of data. But if any change was at all tied to this, in terms of adding in the term as a negative, or that we just added the keyword in as a brand new keyword, it's going to be protected. So that's what that means. But if you're not sure and you're still figuring out how the if this then that rules work, absolutely be empowered to make all of your initial rules as those alerts. Just bear in mind that you're going to be getting alerts in your inbox, and you'll want to just consider taking action on them or not. But if you are saying, like, you know what, I agree with that, I want to save my time and just have it run, you can always come in and adjust. So this is a brief rundown of Rule Engine. We wanted to make sure that everyone, whether you're new to Optmyzr or you've been an avid fan of these past 10 plus years, that you feel comfortable harnessing one of the most powerful tools within the interface, and that you're owning that it's for more than just Google. Yes, a lot of the rules are Google centric, but every single ad channel that we support has some rule engine functionality and deserves your amazing, brilliant marketing mind forming those if this then that logics. So with that, thank you so much for investing a little bit of your time exploring Rule Engine with me. I'm Nava Hopkins, and I'll see you on the next one with Optmyzr. Take care, guys. Bye.